Hi students. Sorry. So it seems as though we had different students that were in another meeting. So we are just going to give them a few minutes to come and join us on this platform. We had an ARH1501 contact session earlier today. So there are students who are still connected to that platform. And we want to just give them a few minutes to join us on this platform with also Ms. Zinsoma Huso, who is the primary lecturer for ARH1501. Because there's a video that we actually want to share with you, and we want to share that with you in one platform so that you can have a better understanding of what the Invigilator app is for and what it's about. Okay. I think they're joining us now, so let's just give them 2 minutes.
Okay, we're going to need to figure out the sound, please. Hello, everyone. We're sorry about the confusion. We will start in 2 minutes. I'm just trying to make sure that I have everything set up correctly on this side, and then we will restart the whole meeting and start the recording started. Yeah. Hello, and sorry for the confusion there. Okay. Welcome, and thank you to everyone who's joined us. And there are just a few things that we want to point out to you before we start we play the recording for everyone. Firstly, for this exam, the use of the Invigilator app is compulsory. So we can't have you can take the exam without the Invigilator app. However, students that take the exam without using the Invigilator app will be their exams will not be marked and they won't receive their final marks. So it is compulsory for everyone who is taking the ARH1501 and ARH1502 exams to use the Invigilator app. And there was a question that popped up earlier about what the Invigilator app does and where to get it. You get the Invigilator app from your app store. So if you're using an Android device, you'll get it from the Play Store. If you're using an Apple device, you'll get it from the iStore. And if you're using a Huawei device, you will get it from the Huawei App Store as well. You will download the Invigilator app on your phone, and it will prompt you to to create a password, and then once you're in the Invigilator app, it will prompt you for a QR code, for a QR code that we will supply to you before the exam. And that QR code you'll scan, and that will give you access to the exam. I note your hand, Kim, and I will give you a minute just now. So you'll get a QR code before the actual exam, and once you scan the QR code, it will let you into the exam and into the Invigilator app to take the exam. The QR code is only active for a limited time from the start time of the exam. So the exam, for example, for ARH1501 is at, I stand corrected, at 12 o'clock on Thursday. And that QR code is only valid for 30 minutes. So you will need to make sure that you scan that QR code and you get into the exam within the first 30 minutes. So if you come and you get your exam late on Thursday, then you unfortunately will not be able to take the exam through the Invigilator app. And that will ultimately mean, as I said, if you don't take the exam through the Invigilator app, your exam script will not be marked. For students that for whatever reason aren't able to use the Invigilator app, please communicate with us as soon as possible so that we can forward these queries to the Invigilator app support team, who will then be able to assess the case, assess each request on a case-by-case basis and determine whether or not the students will be allowed to take the exam without the Invigilator app. Kim had her hand up. Hi, Kim. You'll need to unmute your mic unless, oh, okay, that's okay, it's okay. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can help you on my side. Or if anyone else has a question. Savannah Pinar asks, during the exam for ARH1501 and 1502, will we be able to go back and forth between the questions, or do we have to answer each question before moving on to the next one? You will be able to access, you will be able to move between the questions. For ARH1502, I believe Ms. Dipko is going to make all of the questions available on one page. For ARH1501, they will be available in a selection of five to six questions at a time, but you will be able to move between each of the separate parts, so each of the groupings.
For ARH1502, for ARH1502, you will be able to move through different parts. So the exam will actually also be in parts. You'll be asked about 50 questions. I would, however, advise that you actually answer each question as you go, because sometimes you run out of time and you now won't know in which section the question was that you did not answer. And to now note down the question that you didn't answer in which section might actually just take time from you being able to complete the exam. You have to consider the fact that with the Invigilator app being part of the process of the examination, it too requires you to enter an OTP. It will require you to take selfies during the process of the exam. So you will be quite busy. That's why I would advise you actually answer each question as it is asked to save time. And also to know that you're dealing, if you feel as though this will waste time, you trying to figure out what the question is will be wasting your time. Yes, you can move on to the next question. However, be very wise on how you manage your time during the exam. As you know, you have 2 hours to complete the whole exam. If you finish the exam early, one of the other things is that you still have to keep the app on for the duration of the 2 hours of the exam, because it may still prompt you to take pictures even after you're done with the actual exam. So if you're done within an hour of the exam, don't now go to spa or go to, get lunch. You still have to sit for the duration of the exam as if you were in a venue-based examination center.
Okay, I am getting the video ready and I shall share the screen with you shortly.
Someone who has a question.
Mbilontle Magwaza, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yeah, my question is, how do I have to download the app?
I'm Mbilontle.
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you now.
Yeah, my question was, how can I download the app?
The app is available on your phone's app store. So if you're using an Android device, then you'll find it on Google Play Store. If you're using an iPhone, you'll find it on the iStore. If you're using a Huawei, you'll find it on the Huawei Play Store.
So I search.
App Store.
So I search Invigilator app.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Hi, Kim. So with your question on do we use the Invigilator app on our mobiles when using our computers or other devices? So you can take the exam on your laptop while having the Invigilator app on your cell phone. So you are able to have the app on your cell phone while you take the exam on your laptop, because the exam is essentially on My Exams, on the CHS My Exam site. So you can take it on your phone, because the moment you click on the link, it will take you to the exam. The moment you open the app and you click on the link for the exam, it will take you directly to the exam. But you don't necessarily have to start the exam on your cell phone. You can actually go on your laptop and start the exam, so long as you have scanned the QR code for the exam and the app is aware of the fact that you are on this exam. So you can finish the exam on your computer while the app is on your cell phone. Or you can do the exam on your cell phone, because the app will actually take you to the exam. So either way, you can use two devices or one. Hi, so I'll just take the next question. After downloading the app from, I think this question is from, after downloading the app from Maslodi Sharon Silpila, after downloading the app, do we register or do we wait for the exam date to register on the app? After you download the app, you have to enter your UNISA login details. So it will prompt you to log in with your UNISA details. So the moment you get the app, you enter the app with your details. Then after you've entered the app, the day of the exam, you'll see that the exam is available at the specific time. So it's important that you don't, if the exam starts at 8, you have to go onto the app maybe 30 minutes before, so that the moment the exam is available, maybe 10 minutes before even, so that the moment the exam is available, you don't lose that 30-minute window to scan the QR code, because we will send the QR code to you personally on your My Life email. So we'll send it as an announcement, and we'll also post it on the My Exam site. So it will be a QR code that you can scan. There's also a number. If your cell phone does not scan, you can enter the actual number of the QR code. It will be like a number underneath the QR code. So the next question by Kim is, or must we use the Invigilator app on the same device as we answer the exam? Okay, I see that we already answered that question. Sharon asked again, can we use the same device for the app and the exam? We already answered that. Will we be able to type in the QR code or scan only? You can type the code number or scan the actual QR barcode. Do you have to sit for the entire 2-hour session? Can't you just submit the finished assessment button? Once you submit the finish assessment button, we did a demo yesterday, me and Ms. Mavuso, and we realized that after the exam, because on the Invigilator app, it says the exam is 2 hours, the app will still prompt you. So in as much as you finish the exam, because the exam, let's say if you have 2 submissions, someone can submit the assessment and still go back if they felt like, no, I want to try again. Like if you take 30 minutes to finish an assessment and you're like, no, I don't think that was, I did well, let me try and resubmit the exam. So that's why the app will be on for that full 2 hours. The next question, so we don't register as a student after downloading QS, you register as a student. Another question, are we allowed to consult any form of notes that we have, e.g. typed assignments and written notes? The ARH1501 and ARH1502 exam is a multiple choice exam. You will not have time to consult your notes. That's why it's important for you to prepare well in advance. So, no, they can, but in terms of time, it will not be advisable because it's a randomized exam question. It's a randomized exam. So the questions will not even come in the order that they might have come in a different time. So you have to really have a good understanding. If you feel like, okay, let me just quickly check on my notes what this is, you can go ahead, but be very wise in terms of how you use your time. But you can use your notes, go through them. It's an open book exam at the end of the day. You're just not allowed to write the exam with someone else. So Kim says, I do understand that it is not advisable, but I want to know the extent. No, it's an open book exam. You can go through your notes, you can go through your assignments, it's fine.
Welcome to the Invigilator app. This app helps you complete non-venue-based assessments safely and securely without being invasive or taking up too much of your time. All you need is a charged smartphone with a camera and a small amount of data or a Wi-Fi connection. The Invigilator app helps maintain academic integrity during non-venue-based assessments. How does it do this? While you're writing your exam, the Invigilator app takes random audio recordings, and if speech is detected, the recording is flagged for your lecturer to review. There will also be selfie and photo requests used to verify your identity and prevent unethical behavior. Your lecturer sets up the amount of photos the app will ask for and the audio recordings it will capture. Let's show you step by step what that looks like. 1. Begin by making sure your phone's operating system is up to date, and then start downloading the app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, or Huawei App Gallery. 2. Register as a student by signing up with your details. You will need to use your institutional email address, the one with your student number, and not your personal email address. A verification code or one-time PIN will be sent to your email address to complete the registration. 3. Remember to save and keep your password safe. We've built in a password reset function just in case though. 4. When you log in for the first time, the app will calibrate by requesting specific actions. This is to ensure your phone is compatible. 5. Permission will be requested to access your camera and microphone. You will need to grant the app access in order for you to complete your assessment. 6. Set up your master selfie by clicking the camera icon when prompted to do so. Your face should be evenly lit and visible. We recommend you remove your glasses and any face coverings, such as a mask. This will be the photo that the facial recognition will run selfies against and flag if there is an unfamiliar selfie taken during an exam. Now you're all set to start an assessment. 7. You will need internet connection at the beginning and at the end of your assessment. 8. When commencing an exam, log into the app and the dashboard will load. First, you will need to scan the QR code or enter the exam code. This is the set of digits just below the QR code block. The QR code will be found either on your exam or shared by your lecturer before the assessment. 9. Once the code is scanned, the timer and invigilation will begin. You'll see the photo doc and the time remaining in the bottom right corner. 10. No one likes disruptions. Your phone can be on silent, but check that your media volume is turned up to hear the app notifications. 11. You can now place your cell phone next to you and begin your exam. 12. If you only have one device, you can press the Access LMS button to access your University Learning Management System through our in-app browser. This will allow you to write your assessment on your phone while still being invigilated by the app. 13. The app will notify you at random intervals for predetermined requests that your lecturer has set up. 14. Pop-up requests will ask for specific photos. In this example, it's a photo of your exam paper. 15. Once you've taken the photo, it will load into the photo box. 16. Now it's asking for a selfie. If your face is not visible, an error message will appear. 17. Action prompts have set time limits and will be flagged to review if not complete within that time. 18. If you are writing an online assessment on your LMS, which is your learning management system, you might be required to enter a verification code as an answer to one of the questions. Should you receive this request, there will be a button on the app saying Show Exam Code to enter. Only select this once you are on the question requesting this code. 19. If your exam is handwritten, you may be prompted to take photos of all the pages in your exam script at the end of your assessment to ensure that there is no additional writing after the allocated time is over. 20. What happens if you finish early? If your lecturer chose to allow you to end the assessment early, you click on the I am finished button. 21. You are not allowed to exit the app at any time during the invigilation for any reason other than to WhatsApp the Invigilator help desk. Any out-of-app time will be available for your lecturer to review. 22. When the timer runs out, it will load the files onto the cloud. This is when you'll need data or a Wi-Fi connection. 23. This pop-up means the Invigilator app has successfully uploaded all the information. You can double-check if everything was uploaded by selecting the top left button to view your uploads. Now you're all done. Your lecturer will review the photos and recordings the app sends through. Don't worry about your personal or test data. It's completely safe and secure. Your information is only used for assessment purposes and then will be deleted later. So, how can you prepare for an assessment using the Invigilator app? Download the app ahead of time to be sure it's compatible with your phone. Before each assessment, check that your app is updated. Refer to the student user guide that you received from your lecturer to locate a demo QR code for you to practice the app. Do this well in advance to ensure you're familiar with the process. Charge your phone fully before the assessment to ensure that you have sufficient battery. You'll need an internet connection for the following. 1. Registering for the first time. 2. Logging in. 3. Scanning the QR code or access code to enter the exam. 4. Uploading your Invigilator data at the end of the exam. Visit our website for more resources, guidance, and frequently asked questions, or contact our WhatsApp help desk for technical support. Now you're ready to use the Invigilator app. All the best with your upcoming assessment.
Hi, Lebutang. Can I please request that you mute your mic? Thank you. So there are a few things that we're hoping that you gathered from the video. Firstly, just to reiterate that you need to download the Invigilator app ahead of your exam. Secondly, that there are a few checks that the Invigilator app will request that you make. Firstly is it will require, for our exams, it will require 2 selfies during the examination period. It will at some random point in the exam take a recording or a couple of recordings of the sound, and what the sound check is for, or the recording is for, is to make sure that there are no people that are talking in the background. So if there is sound detected while the random check is done, then that sound will be flagged, and then it is on the lecturer to check, well, exams office really, to check whether that sound can be detected as cheating. Maybe you're consulting someone you're with about one of the questions. So there is not a set time where these recordings will be taken. So you don't know when this is going to happen. So for the duration of the exam, you are expected to remain in silence. And then there was a question that was asked that, can you not just finish the exam and carry on with your life? Firstly, yes, you can just finish the exam. However, because the exam is set for that 2-hour period, even after you've selected that you have finished the assessment, it does continue to prompt you for selfies and take random audio recordings. Therefore, it would be advised that you try and maintain exam-like setting until such a time that the 2-hour period is complete. It will, one of the other things that it will prompt you for is a one-time PIN or an OTP. So what will happen is during your assessment period, one of the questions that will pop up in your exam is, please add an OTP, or please provide the OTP, at which point you need to go back to your Invigilator app and request for an OTP there. They will give you the OTP, and then you go and respond to that question on the exam. And then just again to reiterate the QR code, we are going to send you the QR code before the exam. If you prefer to scan it, make sure that you have another device or you have printed the QR code so that it is easy access for you to scan on the day of the examination. Otherwise, make sure that you've jotted down that code at the bottom where you can just type out that code instead of scanning the QR code itself. Then one other thing that I wanted to bring to your attention is that we realize that this is, for many of you, and for us, it's very new, this Invigilator app thing. So we have created demo exams. The first demo exam, we will send you guys information about, and you will complete it today. So for those of you that are at the meeting, you have an opportunity to then take their demo exam so that you get a feel of how the Invigilator app works. We will set the demo exam for 3 o'clock so that you have time to download the Invigilator app and get yourself registered on the app. The app will request a selfie, and this is the selfie that it will use against. So you want to try and make sure that you don't have any hats on, any glasses on, so that the selfie you take today is as closely similar to what will be available, well, you will look like at exam period. I hope that's clear. Are there any other questions that you want to ask? Yes, so you have two options. It's either you go onto my exams, not my uni. So it's either you go onto my exams separate, and you log on and you take the assessment while you have the Invigilator app loaded on your cell phone, or you use your cell phone, you log onto the Invigilator app, and then you go and select use my LMS, which will be on the top right-hand corner of your cell phone. And when you select that, it will link you straight to the CHS My Exams portal. And so, yes, you have the option to go through the Invigilator app, which I think the university says is the preferred method. Alternatively, you can use a separate device. Either way, you just need to make sure that your cell phone is with you at all times for that 2-hour period. Hi, Ingrid, do you have a question? Your mic is muted.
There, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, I want to know, how am I going to prevent people phoning me or WhatsApping me while I'm on my phone?
That's a really tricky one, and I don't know if you can maybe get someone else to help you with that. Maybe inform all of your contacts that you're not available during that time. But that certainly is an issue you're going to have to find a way to move around, because if it is, the Invigilator app does pick up that you got off the app during the time. That's something else we forgot to mention, that if you log out of the app or you get out of the app, that is also flagged as problematic. So then the longer you're off the app, the bigger the problem is, and more likely to be perceived as cheating.
Okay, thank you.
Someone suggested that you can turn off your mobile network and keep your Wi-Fi on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's still.
Are there any other questions?
Hi, can you all hear me? So I just want to clarify with the finish assessment function on the Invigilator app. As I mentioned before, Zinzi and I actually took a demo exam, and we made use of the Invigilator app as though we ourselves were taking exams as students, just so we can actually know exactly what it is that you'll be experiencing while you're taking the exam with the app. And we did different things. I submitted the exam yesterday, and then I went on the app and clicked the finish assessment function on the app, on the Invigilator app. So she was able to get my results on her dashboard. But on her side, she did not click the finish assessment function on the Invigilator app when she had submitted it on my UNISA. So I didn't get her report. Her assessment did not appear on my dashboard for the Invigilator app. So in as much as even if you're using two devices and you submit the exam on My Exams and you're done, just make sure you go onto the app and click finish assessment, on the actual app. If you're using the same device for the exam as you are using for the Invigilator app, so if you're doing the exam on your phone, for instance, even if you've clicked, because it will actually, the Invigilator portal or the Invigilator app will take you to the My Exams portal, because essentially there's only one platform in which you can complete the exam, and that's the CHS My Exams portal. So once you submit the exam on the My Exams portal, just make sure you click the finish assessment function on the Invigilator app so that it sends us your report. So that report will be the audio recordings and the selfies that you took during the exams.
And it is pretty much like you didn't use the Invigilator app.
Yes. So if you don't actually click that finish assessment function on the Invigilator app, it will be as though you didn't use the app during the exam. So just make sure you submit on My Exams and you click finish assessment on the app, even if you finish early.
We will send out all of these instructions and information via email, via announcements rather, which will come into your emails. But we just wanted to have a session where we are engaging with you in person. And so if you have any major concerns, those things can be addressed. Hi, Mahlodi, Sharon. You can unmute.
Hello. I'm still confused about the clicking of the finish button. Do we click it after writing, or do we wait until the 2 hours to click the finish button?
The moment you finish writing, you can select finish assessment.
All right, thank you.
Yes, but just keep in mind that even after you've selected finish assessment, it might still prompt you for another selfie. It might still prompt you, it might still be taking the audio recordings.
All right, I understand. Thank you.
All right. Are there any other questions?
So just to add to what Zin said, once you take the demo exam and you still feel like you want to first, because it's always better to understand something when you're doing it practically. And this is why we will have the demo exams available for you today, so that you can actually just do a dry run and get a feel of how it happens, how this whole process happens as you're taking the exams, and how the Invigilator app actually prompts you during the exam. If you do have questions after that session, or once you've taken the demo exam, then you can send us an email. Then we'll respond to whatever further questions you might have after having taken the mock exam.
Are there any other questions? Is everyone feeling like they have a better sense of what the Invigilator app? And I know that at this point you won't have the full experience because you haven't done the test, but at 3 p.m., like we said, you will have your QR code, and between now and 3 p.m., we hope that you'll be able to download the Invigilator app, and we will be able to do the test run and see how it is. We've made the mock exam or the demo exam open for 20 minutes. It's a 20-minute exam, but it's just 5 questions and you'll probably get through it within less than 5 minutes. But the period which the QR code is accessible or valid is just 10 minutes. So between 3 o'clock and 10 past 3 is when you have time to start the exam. And you won't be able to start the exam if you started after 10 past 3. So take this time between the end of the meeting and 3 o'clock to just download that tool, and then we'll email you the information you need in terms of the QR code and everything else to take the assessment. In fact, I think we should, the ARH1501 will be accessible from, no, yeah, both of them at 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Yeah. Okay, if there aren't any other questions, thank you for joining us, and do feel free to message us or email us or call us on Teams if you have any questions. Thank you. Goodbye.